Alright, so somebody asked me to do a video on the top 10 wrestlers kind of all promotions. I believe they listed like a few promotions like ECW, might have been TNA. I just decided to make it all promotions. Now before I get this video underway, I don't watch any other shit besides WWE. So my view of wrestlers outside of WWE is very, very limited. But I try to incorporate some wrestlers into this list, and not necessarily on, wrestling talent per se, but kind of like, like I put, let's just get this started here. Number 10, Lance Storm. I wanted to put Lance Storm on here because he's a very active on Twitter. He's very good at voicing his opinion. So again, this isn't really going to be, it's pretty kind of the only one on there that I really said, I just want, I didn't want this video to be bogged down by WWE guys. I wanted to add, kind of try to incorporate, and I know Lance Storm, he was in WWE. Well, he's been kind of wrestling in the independents as of late, so I felt like I should have added him in. Number 9, Bad News Barrett. And I won't go through the WWE guys a lot because a lot of people already know my viewpoints on him. Bad News Barrett, I think he's a pretty good wrestler. He's got a good little gimmick there too. Number 8, I put on Jeff Hardy. I think Jeff Hardy is I've seen a lot of his match. I've seen some of his matches and some of the shit he's done. Like, he just took a fucking, if you haven't seen that video, look it up. He took a bump. He like fucking was on the top of the cage, fell down, and his balls hit the fucking the door, and then he like did a somersault onto the steel steps, in his fucking like back of his head or neck area, or the top of his back area, like hit the fucking steel steps. It looks so fucking brutal. I mean, I can't believe that guy's still wrestling and hasn't really, and all the shit that he's done, a ton of hardcore stunts. He's been on drugs, and he's still fucking wrestling. It's pretty ridiculous. Number 7, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, he's actually a tough guy. Again, like Brock Lesnar, he's a tough guy. He's broke his neck and fucking won an Olympic medal with like a broken neck or some shit like that. Legitimately a tough guy. Looks cool and I like him. Number 6, Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler's, good wrestler. And I really like his fucking, saw his technical wrestling and selling is pretty good. And then let me put a bonus guy on here. I should have done this before, but I guess this is top 11. But Colt Cabana, I do like Colt Cabana. Just because of the interview with CM Punk, I'll put Colt Cabana on this list. Number 5, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, good wrestler. Can cut a pretty good promo as well. The only thing he's missing, though, is kind of the X factor, I guess, if you want to call it that. Like Daniel Bryan has the yes thing, which makes him very entertaining. Sandow has the little invitation, kind of the thing that makes him unique. I mean, yeah, we've seen great wrestlers, we've seen great promo guys, but he doesn't really have a gimmick, and he doesn't really have something that really sets him out, makes him unique from the rest of the talent. But he's still a very talented athlete and wrestler. Number 4, Dean Ambrose. See, Dean Ambrose kind of has an X factor, something unique. He's a lunatic and he does it very well. He plays the character very well, and it makes him stand out. So that's what kind of sets apart Dean Ambrose from Seth Rollins. And Dean Ambrose might be worse than Seth Rollins in the ring, but I mean, I still see Dean Ambrose kind of standing out more than Rollins, because Dean Ambrose sort of has that X factor. But Dean Ambrose can cut a hell of a promo too, by the way. Number 3, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's, very good wrestler, very good promo. Too bad they fucking ruined him. He's never been the same after he lost to Cena. He was at the height of his popularity, when he beat Cena. Then after his Cena feud, he went like right, straight down. It's like fucking the stock market during 19. I believe the crash was 29. I think it was in Black Friday. What do they call it? Black Tuesday, I believe. That's fucking Bray Wyatt right there. It's going up and then just boom, right straight down. Hit rock bottom, and then he returned, and it wasn't the same. So yeah, but he's still a talented guy, and I like him. Number 2, Cesaro. Cesaro, I mean, I've talked about him a lot on this channel. A wasted talent, a very talented athlete, very talented wrestler, and he's actually charismatic on when I've seen him on, you know, the Fallout shows like Raw Fallout or Backstage Fallout or whatever, and on the JBL and Cole show, I think he's funny too. So I like Cesaro, good wrestler, and I've seen, you know, him be charismatic and funny on numerous occasions. And number one, you guessed it, Daniel Bryan. You know, I've talked about him a lot too. He's a really good wrestler. He's shown that in his match with Triple H and many other people. And he's also, I think he cut some good promos too. I mean, I wouldn't say he's a great promo guy or anything, but he's definitely a pretty good promo, especially for being a babyface, because a lot of people will struggle at being entertaining as a babyface. And I think Daniel Bryan does a pretty damn good job of being entertaining and cutting good promos even as a babyface. So there you go, people. There's your list. You know, Lance Storm, Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle, and Colt Cabana is kind of the guys that I like outside of the company. I mean, you know, I see tweets, you know, Matt Hardy, I see expresses his opinion, MVP. You know, I like people like that, you know, wrestlers who will express their opinions freely, whether it be political. I also like, what's his name, Val Venus, too. You know, he's a good Twitter account, too. Kind of promotes, you know, the legalization of marijuana. I think he endorses it kind of too much. He kind of says it's a good thing to smoke weed. You know, I see a lot of good things to use it for, like, medical purposes. I've heard a lot of great stories about that. But smoking it recreationally is a fucking stupid idea. But I still kind of like him because he's libertarian for the most part, and he is for the legalization of it. You know, it's one thing to be for the legalization of something. It's another thing to support it. Like, I'm for the legalization of prostitution, but I don't support, really. I use, you know, it's not really a great example because, you know, I do like women, but, you know, like, I'm for the legalization of a lot of things, but it doesn't necessarily mean I support it. So, and then, I don't know if I could really think of anybody else out there that really rings that much of a bell. I mean, everybody from TNA basically went to WWE, you know, Hogan, Sting, RVD. I mean, they've pretty much all jumped the boat, you know, all jumped the sinking ship, went from the Titanic to the Carpathia, you know. And it's pretty fucking ridiculous for TNA. I can't even name anybody in TNA. Jeff Hardy will probably go back to WWE soon. Probably Angle, too. That's pretty much the only two guys they got there in TNA. Angle and Hardy. And Hardy's probably out after taking that bump. And, you know, Kurt Angle's fucking wrestling. You know, it looks like he's almost done with his career. So, you know, TNA future's not looking bright. I mean, they got like fucking all these other people. You know, like Eric Young the Third. I mean, what kind of name is that? Eric Young the Third. Why can't it just be Eric Young? You know, I think that's his name. I don't even fucking know. Then they got this little midget Rockstar Spud or whatever. You know, again, I don't watch this show, but, you know, it doesn't, I don't have time, right? I don't have fucking time to watch this show, you know, with all the shit I'm doing in my life right now. But, I mean, you know, they brought in, Rampage Jackson or some shit like that, too. I mean, I don't know what that company's doing, but I'm not even interested in it anyway. So there you go, people. There's your top 10 wrestlers. I got, you know, kind of incorporating other wrestlers from other promotions besides WWE in here too. So there you go, people.